Today, I'm going to walk you through a food and supply dashboard I built in Power BI completely from scratch. This dashboard has 4 pages, namely the overview page, which has the KPIs with their tooltips or descriptions of each KPI, and the overview of every other chart. We also have the operational risk page, the financial performance page, the glossary, which is simply an explanation of key terms. I also included a navigation guide, which is a guide to show you how to use this dashboard or how to click any visual here. This is the navigation guide. I also have the reset button, which is to reset all filters on this particular visual. So if you are new, or if you're a beginner who wants to learn how to build a dashboard in Power BI, this video is for you because I will break it down so you can follow along. So by the end of this tutorial, you will know exactly how to build this yourself, and I'll share the data set in the description so you can follow along. Let's get into it. So the first thing we need to do is to understand the business question. Our reports should answer questions like: how reliable is the delivery process, OTIF and delays, where are stockout, returns or waste occurring, which suppliers, warehouses or channels are underperforming, and how do operational issues impact revenue and profitability. So these questions are questions that we're going to use as a guide to help us build this report and conduct our analysis. So stick with me as I'm going to take you through each phase one by one. After checking out the questions that will guide our reports and understanding your data set, before I go on, you need to know that understanding your data set is very, very important. Now let's look at the data set we have. So this data set was provided by Zoom Chat for the For You Report Challenge, in which I won an amazing award. Okay, so this data set has a lot of pages, so we'll need to be joining these tables together using data modeling. So good enough for us, this data set under the DAX Power BI measures, we have formulas that already have been generated for us, which we will also use for our analysis. So we're going to take note of this later on as we're adding up other formulas in our reports. Okay, so once we've studied our data sets, you take your time, you study this data set to understand how to use it and how to navigate between these numerous tables. The next thing I do is to create a wireframe. Now, what is a wireframe? A wireframe is simply a sketchy outline of your dashboard. This will serve as a guide for you when you're building your reports or your visuals so that you don't get confused and spend a lot of time doing nothing or correcting and recorrecting while wasting a lot of time. So I'm going to create a new blank page where we're going to draw our wireframe for this new dashboard. So we now have a blank page where we'll be using for our dashboard. I'll be taking this shape here, a rectangular shape, to create a long rectangular box. Like I said, this is just like a sketchy outline of your dashboard. It will help give you a view of how your dashboard will look like at the end of the day. So I'm going to take the square button to create a long rectangular shape. Meanwhile, this wireframe can be created using escaladraw.com. So if you want to create a wireframe, try to go there and see if you can create one yourself. So my rectangular box is here. I want my dashboard to have a panel by the side, so I'll create a panel by the side here. This is my panel. I also want to have a KPI box, like a holder for KPI down here by the side. Then have a chart underneath, just one. I just want one chart, and then another chart here by the side of the KPI, and one more chart beneath. So I make sure that everything is given. I will have a place, this area up here will be for my text box, and this side here I'll have a text box here where I'll type in the name and the title of this chart, and by the side here I will have my slicers two sliders which I want to have, which is a category slicer and a date slicer to use in filtering out this dashboard. So here right now, I will want to have, I would love to have a button or buttons rather for my pages. So Control V. I would like to have 4 pages for this report. Overview. I have an overview page. I have a financial page. I have 4 pages in total. And then I also want to have a page for. I also want to have a glossary page and a reset button, a navigation guide button, and a reset button down here. So of course, all of this will have its icons because I'm going to put icons here. So you can see my wireframe is having shape. So this is just like a representation of what I would like to have. I will have like my logo here. I'll have a logo here and the name of my company beneath it. And then I will have another visual here, kind of a logo where I'll put in my items, like I'll put in a picture of me, and also my social media handles just beneath it, So you can see I'm just putting out a rough work. So most times this might take you time to think through. I'm trying to rush this through because I've done it before. So when creating a wireframe, take your time to think through to know what shape or what format your dashboard will be best suited for the analysis you want to do. How will it be best suited for the analysis that you want to do? Like I said, I want my KPIs to be in here. I'm going to put them in here and evenly space it out. It's not going to be just 4 KPIs, maybe probably 5 KPIs, and I'll have a text box inside here. It will be a text box, a long text box explaining what these KPIs are. I'll have another text box, like I mentioned, explaining with the title and subtitle of this particular page. Okay, so that's kind of the sketchy framework I want my dashboard to have. So like I said, I want this to have a blue color, no background, but then blue. And fill it in. It should be like a dark blue color. Okay, and then here I want it to also have a kind of blue color but transparent. Then all these areas is just going to remain white. Just going to remain white. Here too, white. So this is more, you can see that it's actually making sense now, right? So I want, and beneath my dashboard, beneath my KPI card, beneath my KPI holder, I'm going to put an image there. So once that time comes in, please watch through. So this is me creating a wireframe. You can see from here, I already have a structure for my dashboard. I already know where to place items or the kind of items I will want to place here. So it's actually very simple to create, but you need to think it through before you actually start creating anything. By thinking it through means you need to use a proper structure that is very, very related to the kind of analysis you want to do. This kind of analysis might not be fitting for a health care dashboard, might not be fitting for a school or educational dashboard. So it all depends on the kind of analysis you want to make at the end of the day. So now that we have our wireframe ready, like I said, this is a structure that I'll be coming back to look at whenever I want to. You can even go ahead to type in the items you want. If it's text, you can just type it in here. This is where you have your column header. This is where you have your title, and then sorry, this is just a random text. I can put in a random text like this, copy and paste it again, make it smaller because this is what I actually want. Make it smaller, like that's the subtitle. So I have a main title, I have a subtitle, and then I also have a text box where I type in a lot of things to explain this particular KPI, just like a summary to explain the page. So I'll have some write up here and write up here. So you can say I'm writing gibberish now, but when we start building, you'll see how I'll do it. Like I said, this is mainly, this is just for a learning purpose. So even if you cannot build this, if you, so this, so like I said, this is beginner, like I said, this is beginner friendly. So all you need to do is to pay attention and you'll be able to grasp everything that we're doing here today. So let me delete this. Okay, no need of deleting, I'll just leave it in there as we'll be using it as our text box. So this is just like a simple wireframe of my dashboard. You can go further to even make it better, you know. So this is just, like I said, a wireframe of my dashboard. Now, once you are done creating the wireframe, the next thing we need to do is to go back to your Power BI and start building your report. So my report is an Microsoft Excel sheet. I'm just going to import it from here. Now that my reports have loaded and it's still on this particular page, I need to take it to Power Query and clean it up to ensure that it is very consistent. So I'll select all the tables I need. I don't think I need the data dictionary. I'll just select all your tables. And then don't click on load. I'm just going to go and click on transform data to take it to Power Query. Let's wait for it to load. So we're in Power Query now, and I just want to check through the table to ensure that every data set is clean. Of course, when working with this, I'm going to take my time and check through all of them to ensure that I do not have any issues with it. I'm going to create a video later on to show you how to clean up your data sets with Power Query. So follow this video that is going to pop up to see how to clean your data sets with Power Query if you have any issues. So you can see that we have an issue with this particular table. All our column headers are on the first row. So I'll just come here and click use first row as headers to promote the headers to the column headers where they're supposed to be. I also check my supplier table to ensure that I do not have that same issue with it. So far so good. I've not seen any issue with this data set apart from the one I just corrected. So I'm just going to click close and apply. And once I've clicked that, it's going to load in here. So it might take your time, it might load in faster depending on the load you have on your system. So let's wait for it to load. Okay, currently loading. Once we've loaded, next thing we need to do is to start building our Power BI measures. Now that we've loaded in our data, the next step we need to take is the data modeling step. But before we do that, let's go back to Power Query and check something else. I think I missed one more step and one of the tables. Let's look at our fat orders table, our dimension channel. Oh, look, can see it here. It's still saying column 1. And look at the channel header. So what do? Select use first row as headers. And secondly, I do not want a repetition of all the channels here. Okay, this is more like a copy of the fat table. That's if you have studied your fat table, your tables very well, you will see that the dimension channel column and the fat table channel column are just exactly the same. And I would love to connect these two tables together. I would not be able to connect them if they have both have foreign keys. So one must be unique and one must have a foreign key. So I'm going to go back to my channel table and ensure that this remains unique. So select this, come to home, go to remove rows and select remove duplicates. Select remove duplicates and you have just this four. That is just what we need. So I can connect this to our fat table in our data modeling tab. So every other thing I think is good to go. But anytime we encounter any issue or error, we'll always come back to Power Query to correct it. You can always do that even while working on your report. So close and apply and come back. Make sure you click on close and apply and wait for it to load. So once it has loaded, we'll go to our model view and connect our tables. Okay, so let me delete this first. So you can see that in our model view, there are no relationships yet, no connections. So here we have our fat table which is the orders, and we'll have other dimension tables. So the type of data modeling we're going to be using here is star schema data modeling. Okay, where every other dimension table is connected to the fact table, but there might be other tables that might be connected to one or two, like a cross connection, something like that. So first of all, let's start with our products. So, okay, so let's start with this. We're going to look for a column that is connected to this, which is the product ID, and we'll have product ID here. So I'm just going to drag and drop on it. Make sure it is one to many. Make sure that the relationship is active and make sure it's single. So save. Then we'll have warehouse. Let's see, we have warehouse ID here. Let's check if we have warehouse ID here too. Okay, good. So just drag and drop on top of it. Just make sure it is many to one or one to many. Just make sure the connection is many to one or one to many. Remember, you must have one unique table connected to one foreign key table. So save. Then we have our inventory snapshots. In this inventory snapshot, we have the product ID and let's check if we have any other thing. And we have warehouse ID. And we don't have any column that will be connecting us to the fact orders, maybe like an inventory snapshot ID here. We do not have that. So, but we have two columns that are related to the product column and the warehouse column. So I'm just going to drag this and drop it here to connect these two together, many to one, active, good. Once that has been saved, also connect your warehouse, connect it here, and you're good to go. Save. Then for your customer ID, select your customer ID and drag it in here, and you're good to go. Save. Your dimension dates, we have the dates table and we have our other dates. So I'm just going to drag the dates and the other date together. No, not late days, please. Other dates. Make sure you select the correct column and then save. Then the next one is our supplier table. So we have supplier ID and we have supplier ID. So drag and drop on top of each other. Supplier ID. Good. So basically we've connected all our tables. This is just the dictionary. This is Power BI measures that was given to us as an additional guide in the data set. And the channel table. Good. So we have one more table, the channel. So let's look for channel column here. It should be there. Okay, look at it. Okay, so drag and drop. Make sure it is many to one and save. If it is many to many, no, do not use it. Let's go back to Power Query and ensure that you make the can ensure that one of the tables is unique and one is a foreign key. So we basically connected all our tables together one by one. I wanted to do it this way so that you can see how to do it on your own. So once this is done, we'll just come to manage relationships and check if everything is many to one or one to many. So the star here shows that this particular column, this channel has many that's many values, duplicate values of that particular item that is here. So just one item here versus many. That's what it means. And everything is active. So close. Okay, another way of connecting them together if you do not want to do them one by one is coming here. Once you open up this your model tab, um, just come to manage relationships and click on auto detect and it will connect it automatically for you. But I don't really use this all the time because most times it can be wrong. So close and then come here. So close. Once you are closed, let's go back to our report view and then look at what we have. So the next thing we're going to be creating now is our measures. We're going to be going deep into our analysis now and start creating the measures we will need to answer our questions. Now that we're done with data modeling, the next step is to build our DAX measures. And to do that, we need to create a dedicated table where we can put in all our measures together. We do not want them scattered. So fortunately enough for us, this data set has a table already dedicated to measures named the Power BI measures. So let's go to table view, look at the Power BI measures and see what we have. So you can see we have the measure, what it measures, the DAX, and why it matters. Okay, and it's still showing us column 1, 2, 3. So because we didn't really need it, we didn't change it. So let's go back to Power Query. To go back to Power Query, please simply click on Transform. Simply to go back to Power Query, simply click on Transform Data here. Come to Power BI measures and then make it use first row as headers. Then close and apply. Close and apply. Sorry. Good. So once you've done that, you see we have our measure, revenue, total sale, sum, which is the DAX here, and the explanations to this measure. So we're going to be using this, and I'll advise you to also, you know, I will advise you to read through what it means before you use through. So the revenue shows commercial size by business and categories, supplier, customer, or warehouse. So we're just going to copy this formula and be using them. That's what we're going to be using each of these formula. So this particular column has been dedicated to this, and we just need to copy out the measures and use them, which is this. That's what we need. That's what we really need. So copy the values, then come here and select new measure because we're going to be creating the measure, right? So select, right click and select new measure. And so what that information you copy, just paste it here and you're good to go. So we have our revenue now. You're good to go. Look at it here. Then the next one is the gross profit. Right click, copy value, then select new measure. Just come out here and select new measure and paste it in here. Enter. Or you press this green mark. Next one is the gross margin. So copy again, copy value. Once you've copied, new measure and paste it here. So I'm going to do the same for the rest of them. So I have created the formulas for OTIF, stockout rate, return rate, waste units, and quality issue rate using the same format I just showed you now. Just right click, copy value, create a new measure from here and paste it. This is a formula that has already been provided for the purpose of this work, but we are going to create additional formulas. For instance, the revenue year over year formula will be created, but we have not created the base formula, which is the revenue last year and revenue, that the current year revenue and the previous year revenue. That's why we have the revenue last year here. So what we're going to do right now is to create the revenue last year. So all you need to do is right click, create a new measure, and use the same title here, revenue last year, equal to calculate, use the calculate function, open bracket, revenue, calculate revenue, comma, same period as last year. We'll use another function called same period as last year, enter, and what column is it asking for? The date column. So we're going to use the dimension dates column here. Make sure you pick the dimension dates, this second one here, not the first one, and then close your brackets and enter. And that is all you need to do. Close your bracket twice to make sure it's completely covered. Good. So we, oh sorry, I think I have an additional bracket. Good. So we have our revenue last year, right? Let's see. I think there's an issue here. Operator is not supported in this context. Open bracket revenue. Okay. Oh, sorry. We have a double bracket here, so I didn't see that. You're good to go. Close this now, and it works. So now we have our revenue last year. Let's create our measure for revenue year over year. So right click. Make sure you have copied this particular one. Right click, copy value. Come here and select new measure, and then paste it in here. So once you're done, you can then commit. It will then work since you already have your revenue last year now. So you have all your formulas here, the revenue last year, revenue year over year, stock out rate, waste unit, but we're still going to have additional formulas. Okay, we're going to create additional measures here. But now, right now, since we've created our measures, we don't need this table again. We don't need this column. We need the table, but not some of the columns, like what it measures and why it matters, Okay, so I'm just going to come here and hide some of them. I'm going to hide it, just select here and hide. I'm going to come to measure and hide. I'm going to come to why it matters and hide. I'm going to come to why it matters and why it measures, sorry, and hide. So I do not want this to show in my report view. That is why I am hiding it. I just want to see only my Power BI measures. So come back here and you will see all your Power BI measures here in the report view under your data pane, under your data tab. So that is the first step we need to take. We still have other measures to create, like I said. So go to right click and select new measure. So the measure we're going to add right now here is the cost of goods total. So we're going to say cost of goods equal to sum, open bracket, is already open, so you don't need to put additional bracket. Once you click in the formula, just select enter. Fat orders, we're going to select fat orders cost of goods. So let's just type in cost of goods here to bring out the particular column we want, and then you close it. That is it. That's the total of cost of goods. Also going to create another new function for average order value. So the thing is, as we're working, we'll be creating more measures as we're working. So average order value is equal to divide revenue, just revenue please, not revenue last year, divide revenue by, it's a count rows. I'm going to divide it by part order. So divide revenue by comma count rows orders. Enter. So this is to, the purpose of this particular formula is to show you the revenue per order. That's the average order value, show the revenue per order. And since it's in averages, I'm just going to change my, not a percentage really, I'm just going to put it to 0. I just want it to be 0, decimal places, not 1 or 2. I don't want it to be in O2. So once that is good to go, let's start with our report right now. Let's start with building our reports.
It's now time for us to design our dashboard, and to do that I have to change the canvas color first. So I'll go to format, canvas background, color, more colors, and then I'll paste in this color code I have here on the screen, the color code for background, and then enter. Then reduce transparency. This is a color code I use for my background, and this is the color palette we'll be using for this particular dashboard. And then remember when we started, we built a wireframe. So this structure we're going to be building for this dashboard will follow the wireframe structure we have built earlier on. This is to help us not waste time on thinking and rebuilding and rewiring or changing the structure of our dashboard each time we work. To reduce time, it will help us stay focused on what matters, and to also help us know what to do at each point in time. Now that I have changed the background, I'll need to go to canvas setting and make sure that the canvas size is exactly the size I need. So yes, I want I want my canvas type to be 16 to 9, but the size should be 1920 to 1080 full HD. Okay, if you want it to be custom, you can still change it like this in custom. Let's take it back to this 1920 to 180. That's the size I need. What kind of alignment? Middle alignment. Let's bring in a shape to create our side panel. Bring in this shape, and then we're going to still design the shape. So go to shape style. I don't want it to be rectangle exactly. Select rounded tab, both top. Once you're done with that, come to rounded top corners, keep it to 10%, 10% rounded corners. Scroll down, remove your border, go to fill. I'm going to choose a deep blue color for my fill. And this color on the screen is the color code I'll be using for this particular shade. So I'll be using this color code. Go back. Now let's go to rotation. Scroll down to rotation, and when you get to shape, put the shape to 90% rotation. Then scroll back on again to rounded top corner and keep it to 20%. So this is what we're trying to achieve here, a rounded corner for our shape. So drag it down to the side. So this will serve as our side panel. Let's make it to 25 again and see. All right, so this looks cool. This looks cool. Next we need to do is to bring in a holder for our KPI. In my dashboard, I use an image. So I'm just going to bring in an image here. Now, once you have when you have selected image, all you need to do is to go to your folder where you have saved the image and insert that image here. So go to style, select image, still under formatting, go to format, go to style, select image and select browse. So once you've selected browse and inserted the image, you will have this. Next thing to do is to still scroll down under image fit, select fill, adjust it to the size you want. We're still going to keep adjusting it later anyway. So adjust it to the size we want. I'm going to drag this out a little bit, adjust this one, bring it down here, and then we're going to shape the size, this side. So under shape, corner radius, we're going to keep corner radius as 10, and then we're going to reduce transparency. Let's reduce transparency. Sorry, we're going to increase transparency, not so much. Put transparency at 30. So it will not be too sharp in the eyes. Once that is done, we are almost done. Almost. So next thing we need to do is to bring a shape that will serve as an overlay. So bring in this shape again. Come to shape style. Take off your border. Remove your border. Rounded corner should be 10. Come to fill here. Select a blue color. This is a blue color, and increase transparency. Almost transparent. So bring this shape here and adjust it directly on top of the image, so you have a shape like this. Okay, so this will serve as our card holder. You can reduce the transparency a little if it's too light. Like I want the image to show, but I don't want it to show so much, so that we can place something on top of it that can be readable, easily readable. Okay, so once we've done this, you can see that I can't move the two shapes without separating them, so I need to group them. What you need to do is select this, hold down your control key and select one image, and then select the second image while still holding your control key, right click and group. So once you've grouped now, you can see that they move together. Then double click the blue image, the blue shape, and drag it on top of the other one, so it snaps together. Just adjust it and it's good to go. Good. So you can see they are together now, they don't move. Drag it down to the side, then bring in a text box which will serve as your bring your text box. We're going to type in the name of our dashboard here. So for my text box, I'm going to be using, let me drag it up, adjust it up here. So for my text box, the name of my text box will be food beverage supply chain analysis. Food and beverage supply chain analysis. So you can highlight everything, make it bold, increase the font size to 16 or make it 20. Drag it down a little. Let's increase the font size to 36. Okay, now we're going to have another separate text box under for the overview page, which we use to name it. We're going to name it overview. So drag this text box up here. And name it your overview. Highlight everything again and increase the font size to 16. reduce the size a little bit. Oh, good, good. So we have our food and beverage supply chain. I think this needs to come up a little bit and bring this one up too. Then bring this up. So once you have this, I'm going to bring in our chart. I'm going to have, so once we have this, the next thing we're going to do is to bring in our charts and our KPIs. So let's start with the KPIs. The first chart I'm going to bring in is a line chart for our monthly revenue trend. So I'll take this line chart here and drag it in. I'm going to just place it here, and then, like I said, for monthly revenue trend, so to be dates by revenue. So come to your Power BI measures and select revenue here. Then for the time, go to dates, go to dimension or date table. There's something we didn't do earlier. We go back to table view, select your dimension and date table. We need to mark this table as a calendar. So come here and select calendar options. Select calendar options. Then select mark as date table. Mark as date table. Turn it on. Choose your date column, which is date, and save. Done. This will make Power BI recognize this very well as a date table, and you can use it for drill through. Now, once you're done with that, we're not yet done. Sorry, come to month name first, sort by column, sort it by month number. Okay, sort it by month number, and you're good to go. You're good to go. So once everything is done, come back to report view and go to date table, and then select the month name. Drag it to your y-axis. So you have your month name properly here. Next chart we're going to build is our donut chart for revenue by channel. So to create our next chart, I'm going to use what we call a parameter to create it, because I want a situation whereby I will see my category, revenue by category, and also revenue by channel based on the chart I will put in. So I'll come here to modeling, select new parameter, and select fields. That's what I'm going to be using. So fields, what's my Pareto name? Let's leave it at parameter. Then I'll select the two fields, or let me put the fields name first, fields. Then I'll select channel, and then I'll also select category and create. So we're going to add a slicer to this page so that we can use it to switch between this. Okay, so create. So we have our slicer here for those two fields I'm going to be creating, which is the revenue by category and also revenue by channel. We're still going to make an adjustment later on, but let's leave this for now. So these are the fields I'm going to be creating. Let's start creating our chart. The first chart I'm going to be creating is the donut chart. So I'll bring it in here. Select the donut chart, drag it up to the side. So we're going to be doing our revenue by these fields. We're going to selecting this field instead of just selecting revenue by category. So what is going to be our legend? The fields. It's going to be our legend, add data, fields. Then our values now will be what? Revenue. So type in revenue. So you have revenue by channel. Then we'll bring in a bar chart to show and do the same thing here. So expand this bar chart, expand it, and then bring in your x-axis again, which is the fields, and the y-axis, which is the x-axis, which is the OTIF. So x-axis OT, y-axis field. You have your channel by field. So we have the OT by channel, e-commerce, and everything. So if you want to switch between these two, all we need to do is select channel to switch by channel, and then we select category and to switch by category. It's very easy and better to do than using bookmarks, layering charts upon charts. So this is a more easier way to go about this. We have built these 4 things. The remaining thing we need to do now is to create our KPI. So expand your view tab, select this new card option, bring it in. I'm going to place this here as it will serve as a holder for it will be our KPI visual. So come here under value, add up the values, all the values you want to display. So I want the revenue, I want the gross profits, I also want the OTIF rate for revenue. Let me select the add data, select revenue under the Power BI measures. I'm going to drag it up here. Since we've already calculated it, add data, we're going to select OTIF. We're going to select stockout rates. I'm going to select quality issue rates. So you have 5 visuals here. So once you've done that, you can open your format tab, turn off the title. I don't need the title, and then you adjust this. You adjust it properly the way you want it to. So you have your revenue, you have your gross profit, you have your OTIF, stockout rate, quality issue rates. And that is not all, because we will need to format all of this. We need to format it and add reference tabs to it. So to format it, first thing I'll do is to come to my cards options here under layouts. I'll turn off the divider. I do not want the divider. Always turn on, my background will definitely be on. Then for my border, for my background, I'll select this deep blue, but then I'll reduce transparency. Okay, so I need it to be something like this. So make it deep blue, then come down to your color values. Okay, for your border, make it blue too. I'm going to add shadows to it. So turn it on, put on your shadow. My shadow, I'm going to make it a bit lighter. So come to more colors. Sorry, select the blue first, then come to more colors and make it lighter a little bit. Make it a little bit lighter. Okay, let's see darker shadow. I'm just trying to experiment here. Then see if that is not enough. Still scroll down, come to your call out value. Under value, we're going to turn everything white because this is a dark blue background. So I would love the text to show very well, and this label will also be light gray. Then we're going to centralize our text. Position should be top, not bottom. The position of the label should be top. Let's scroll up and centralize our text. So come here under value, centralize your text. This value I'm talking about is still under callouts. So under value, make it centralized. Then for the label, I want to have a little bit of gap between the card, the label, and the text. I'm going to reduce my label. My label is already 12, so that's the size is 12, which is very okay. I'm going to increase the size of my color value to 27, 28. It's fine. I just want it to pop out like this. So you can see we're actually getting somewhere. So we have our revenue, we have our gross profit, we have our OT, we have our stock out rate. We've not really applied padding. Now, please, I would love to reduce the size of this to have gross 32, 24. And then the overview page, this is 16. I'm going to put it to 18. And instead of overview, I'm going to change it to executive summary. Good. Looking better for me. We're not yet done because I'm going to insert another shape so it will have the same color. So insert a shape here. So we're going to use this shape to write like a summary of what this page is trying to do or what this page is trying to tell us. So first of all, to do that, I'm going to go to shape style. I'm going to make it rounded corners to 10, make the rounded corners to 10. I'm going to turn off others and fill it up with our favorite blue color, and then increase transparency. So we're going to type in our text. So we're going to use this as a holder for our text box. Now that we have all our charts in place here, let us put our slicers. We'll have two slicers we're going to put in here, which is we have just one slicer, and another slicer we're going to put in right now is the date slicer. So come to data, select your sorry, not data, rather come to field, select slicer. We're going to using this normal slicer, the funnel slicer, then drop in your date table. So we're going to be dropping in year because we want to be switching between 2 years. We want to see revenue by either the first year or another year. So drag in your year and put in here. So let's say 2024, 2025 goes good to go. So everything will be here. We're still going to come back to format this nicely and properly. As time goes on, let's just adjust it here. From now, once that is done, also adjust your charts. Adjust this one. I want it to have equal spacing between them. I want it to have some white spaces between them, not so close to the wall, not so close to each other. Do the same for the line chart. Drag it here and make sure it's on the same line with the other one on top and the one below. Good. So let's do a little work on our KPI and our cards and our write-up here. So like I said before, I wanted to use this to type in a summary of what this dashboard is all about. So I'm just going to go to shape style, come to text, turn it on, and then type in the text here. So I have the text I had already copied. I'll just paste it here. You have your text here. Come scroll down and put it, align it to the side. So it says this page provides a high level snapshot of, let's increase the font size to 12. This page provides a high level snapshot of overall chain health, combining revenue, profitability, and delivery performance metrics to help executive quickly assess where the operation stands and where attention is needed. And I'm going to put my padding to the side. I'm going to put 10 to the side, 10 to the other side, and we're good to go. I think all I need to do now is reduce it a little bit and drag it up here. I'm still going to go back to the rounded corners and make it 12 or 13. Come to your shape still. You know, we have not done anything much on the shapes. So come to the shape. We're going to work on the shape now. So first of all, before we start work on the shape, I want to, this card behind, this particular shape behind it, I would like to format it so that this card will pop out clearly. Okay, so I'll double click and work on the first shape, which is this one. That's the first one I want to work on right now. So come to where you still have your fill, expand your transparency to 7. I don't want it to be too bluish, too dark, so it has a good contrast with the KPI I placed here. So it will have a good contrast with my KPI here and every other thing. And then for the image behind it, I also want to do a little work on the image. Let's go back to fill again. I think put it to 70. Then drag it down a little. In fact, instead of dragging it down, there's another way of selecting this image. What you need to do is come to your view here, select this option, selection, select it. It will appear by the tab. So when you selected it, click the selection and tab open, and then come to where you have image under group 1, expand its image. Just select it, select the image so you can, make some few settings there. So select the image, drag down to expand the image, come to image effects, and then come to blur. We're just going to blur it a little bit, just blur it a little bit to make it not so busy in the background so that our KPI can pop out. So blur it to, let's say, 15. 15 is okay for the image. Good. So you see our shape too. Come to shape, open the settings, come to shape style, fill, make the fill is okay as 65 or 70. So expand this and then close. So you can see that our KPI a bit more pronounced now. So come to KPI again, expand the filter, come to cards. We're going to go to background. You know, our background was transparent. So let's see if we can make it a little bit more transparent. Not so much. I want it to take transparency at 55. And then let's go back to our shape size. Go to shape. Corner radius should be 10 or 12, just like the one on top there. All the shapes, all these cards should have a corner radius of 12. Once this is done, we need to put in reference labels for each of these items now. So for our first reference label for revenue will be YOY. So come to apply settings or select all and then select revenue. Once you've selected revenue, still scroll down to reference labels, apply settings to revenue, come to reference labels here, scroll down, add label. So we're going to type in our YOY, that's revenue YOY, and put it there. So you can see what we're trying to achieve here. So revenue YOY will be there. You come to title, select label, select revenue YOY, scroll down again, come to title here, and field name, select custom, and type in just YOY. YOY, that's all I need. Just type in YOY. And as that is done, come to value again, scroll down, make it white with color, try to show. For the YOY, decide to also make it a grayed out or white. Are you good to go? So for my revenue YOY, you can see that it's shifted to the side. I really do not want that. And also it is just white. So I want a situation whereby it will turn green when it's up and turn red when it's down, you know. So I'm going to use conditional formatting instead of white. So come to FX here, come to FX and select rules. So if value is greater than and equal to minimum and less than 0, give it to me as red. Then select new rule. If value is greater and equal, in fact, if value is greater than 1, okay, and lesser than max, or lesser than equal to max, give it to me as green. Sorry, lesser than equal to max, give it to me as green. Select green color, include light green color. That's what I'll be using here, and then click OK. So you can see my YOY now is green. That's all I need for this. So once that is done, I think I need to change the title to green using conditional formatting. So I'm going to go back to title 2. Under title, select FX, rules, and this should be based on revenue. This field should be based on revenue YOY. If this is greater than equal to mean and less than 0, give it to me as red. This is a lighter shade of red. New rule, if this is greater than 0 and lesser than equal to max, give it to me as green. Give it to me, go to more colors, select green, light shade of green, and click OK. Hold on. Yeah, and click OK. I made a mistake with the YOY. So let's go back, select FS. Under, I made a mistake with the value. So let's go to back to value, select FX, and then this field should be based on YOY, not just revenue. So select revenue YOY and click OK. So you have your time. One more thing, still go back again. Under the red, make sure you choose a lighter shade because we're already working on a dark background. So we want it to show out, to be very clear. Increase the font size. You can make it 12. Come down to your title too. Increase the font size to 12. I think we're going to do that one together as we're working with the others. So that's how you work on this. Let's go to the next one, gross profit.
So now that we've put in our reference label for revenue, the next one we're going to put in is our gross profit. So let's go to select the card again. Make sure I selected the card. Go to reference labels, select reference labels, scroll, expand, select gross profit and add label. So we're going to add in our gross margin. That's all for this. Then go again, select OTIF, add label. Now for OTIF, the label we would love to add here has not been generated yet. In our data brief, in the business. Now for OTIF, I'm going to create a measure for the label I'm going to add to the OTIF. So I'm just going to say right click, select new measure, And the label will just be a static label. In the business brief, their target was for 95% OTIF. Okay, so 95% OTIF is good. So let's create a new measure. I'm going to say target equal to OTIF target rather equal to 95%. And let's put it as, because of this percent, let's put it in a double quotation mark and you're good to go. So we're going to add that label here. So add label, search OTIF target, and to be added there. OTIF target 95%. And you can see our OTIF is 0.92. So select the OTIF itself and change it to percentage here. Now you're good to go. The next one we're going to do is the stock out rates. For our stock out rates, the label we're going to add is orders. So for stock out rate, we're going to add an orders label. But before we do that, we have to create two new orders. The one measure we're going to create is stock out rate orders, which is here on the screen. Just going to paste the formula there. And the next one will be, we're going to create two, like I said, stock out rate orders, which is simply the sum fat orders stock out fat flag. And the next one we're going to create is the quality issue rate orders. So right click again, new measure, quality issue orders equal to sum, open bracket, quality issues. That's what we're going to use, issue flag, sum of it, and enter. So those ones that are equal to 1, it will just sum everything up and give us the total number of orders that were made. So that's it. And once you are done, you close this and come back to your stock array, add your orders for stock out. Then for the other one, come to quality issue rate, add your orders to quality issue orders, and you are good to go. So next thing we do is to format all of this together. Okay, minus the target. Anyway, let's format all the reference labels. So apply settings to all. Apply settings to all. Let's go to title, expand, FX, and we're going to base this on our gross margin. Okay, we're going to base this on, what field should we base this on? Okay, we're just going to cancel. We're going to need to do this one by one. Go back again, expand, go to apply settings, or instead of all, select gross profit, come to title because we need it to be green. So FX, we'll base this on gross margin, and make sure it is a rule. So its value is lesser than and equal to minimum, and also, sorry, value is greater than and equal to minimum and lesser than 0, give it to us as red. New rule, if value is greater than or equal to, or instead of saying greater than or equal to, if value is greater than 0 and lesser than max, delete the 0 and max will come in, give it to us as green. Okay, and click OK. We're done with this. Do the same for the value. FX, select rules. We are basing this on gross margin. That's for gross profit. If value is greater than and equal to minimum and lesser than 0, give it to us as red. New rule, if value is greater than 0 and lesser than and equal to max, give it to us as green, and click OK. Next card we're going to work on is the OTIF card. So select apply settings to OTIF. Now for OTIF, because the reference label is static, the label is just going to stay white. Okay, so we're just going to, not FX, we're just going to make the labels white. Let's make it not too white. Okay, and then the title to the value should be white. Good, because this is static. The only change we're going to make is to the main color value. So when we reach there, when we start making those changes, I'm going to show you what to do. Let's then go to the next one, which is the stockout rate. So our stockout rate, expand this again, come to FX, that's conditional formatting, select rules, and this rule is going to be based on the stockout rate order or the stockout orders. So if value is greater than and equal to minimum and lesser than and equal to 0, give it to us as red. New rule, if value is greater than and equal to if value is greater than and equal to 0 and lesser than and equal to max, delete the 0 and max will show in. If value is greater than 0 and lesser than or equal to max, then give it to us as more colors, green. Use a lighter shade of green and yeah, okay. Then that's it for the stocker orders. Do the same for the value. So FX, if this rules, select rules based on quality issue orders. If this is mean and lesser than equal to 0, give it to us as red. New rule, if this is greater than, come on, if this is greater than 0 and lesser than equal to 0, or sorry, and lesser than and equal to max, then give it to us as green. More colors and select green. Sorry, if this is greater than 0 and lesser than max, not 2, give it to us as green. So okay, so the same thing we did for all of this, you have to do it to the last one. Now try the last one on your own. Try the quality issue rates on your own. I hope you did it correctly. If you did it correctly, this is what you will get. This is what you get. So let's go back to our title right now. So you can see all the titles are not properly made. So I'm just going to correct the titles. So come to reference labels again. Come to reference labels. Scroll down. Apply settings to all. Okay. So apply settings to all. Apply settings to all. For layout, make it middle alignment. I don't think you need to make any other changes there. Then come to, you don't even need to put in background. This is what background looks like. I don't want to put in the background. Then let's come to the next option, which is the reference labels card. Let's start again with our gross margin, which is the gross profit. The title is okay, gross margin 0.35%. But you can see that I do not like the gross margin title there. So I'm just going to come here, select gross margin, then come to title, expand title, and type in your field name. Type in custom name, and remove this percentage here. and you're good to go. That's it for gross margin. Then let's go to the next one, which is the OTIF. OTIF target is okay. Let's go to stockout rates. Scroll down again. Under stockout rates, select labels, select stockout orders. What we want to do is to change the name. Stockout rates, stockout orders 44, quality issue orders 34. So I think we should leave it like this. It's fine and good to go. Select all. So the next thing we're going to do is apply to all. So I can make if I can make changes to all of them. I mean the font size, the sizes, the bolding. So for my title, I'm just going to make it 11. Then I'll scroll down to my value. Scroll down to values. I'm not going to make any changes to the color again. Scroll down to values and increase it to 12 and make it bold. Make it bold. And you're good to go. This is for all values, for all cards. So once we're done with this, we're actually good to go. So there was something I did in mind, which is to insert a little shape just to highlight these particular values. So I just come to shape style, remove your border, remove your border. We're going to change the fill to white and then reduce transparency. We're also going to, you know, change the border, that's the rounded corners, make it 10. And then once you're done with that, just drag it down. Okay. So you have your YOY, expand it. So let's increase transparency a little bit, not too much. Go to size and style. Make sure that there are no borders on, and we're good to go. So look at it. This is what we want to achieve here. So copy this, Control C, Control V, 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 V. This is if you want to actually use this. I just want to use this to kind of like highlight the chart we have below. That's the highlight our reference label. So I'm just going to drag it here and I then make sure that, wait, let's increase the transparency a little bit to 80 so it will not be too blurry. So copy this, Control C, Control V, V, V. So I'm just going to use this one that I recently corrected and then delete the others. Now delete this, delete, 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 and this too. Increase the transparency to 80. Good. So you have your YOY. Select all your labels like this. We're going to align them properly. Go to Format, go to Align, and align to bottom. That's just all we need to do here. Align to bottom so that they all will be on a straight line like this. So we have our stock out. Another thing we can do is select all of them. I want to make it a little bit slim or smaller than this. So come to Shape Style, reduce the height. Can reduce the height. Keep reducing. Okay, that's all. And click out. So this is what I want to achieve with this. So this looks good to me. For our revenue, for our main card, you can apply padding on the card to shift it. So come to cards, come to layouts, come to, okay, so not layout, come to padding and individual padding. Uniform padding is 12. Let's turn it off first. Let's make it 5. Oh no, let's leave it at 10. Okay. This padding is very important. It actually makes your work very neat. Now come to your callouts, scroll down, come to padding for callouts. I'm going to do individual padding just for the top. I'm going to make it, let's say 10, good, or 20. I just want it to shift down, good. That's just all I need for this. And once you're done, you can then group these items together. Just group them, right? Collect all of them together by highlighting and copying them. Then group, right click, group. all of them will be grouped together. I mean, even if you move it out, you can move them back in together as one. So now that we've finished dealing with the card, we've dealing with our page here, the next thing to do is to go to the next. We are not yet done with this page, so we need to also clean up the charts on top of there. So what do I do? So now that we're done with our KPIs, so we're not, so before we are fully truly done with our KPI, let's go to our stock out rate and quality issue rate and change them back to percentages. So select your data tab, go to stock out rate and change it to percentage. Once that has finished loading, go to quality issue rate and also change it to percentage. And you are good to go. So now that we've finished doing this, all we need to do next right here is to work on our donut charts and our bar chart. So select these charts. We're going to change the color. So come to format again, come to legend, come to, sorry, slices, apply series to, we're going to choose a color for each of these series. So select beverages first. Remember, it should be from the largest to the smallest. So beverages came first. I'm going to select beverages, select the color for the slides, and pick this color. I'm just going to pick this color using my color picker tool and come in here, paste it. That's what we need, but I don't want it to be exactly the same shade, so I'm just going to drag it up to make it a bit lighter. So I'm just going to be making it lighter, lighter, lighter until we get to the lightest shade. The next one is our snacks. Go to snacks, more colors, paste this here, and drag it up to be lighter than the other. Can you see what I'm doing here? Just a bit lighter than the other. Remember, you have other slices to make lighter too. The next one, click enter or back. The next one is our frozen. So come here again, more colors, paste in that color and make it lighter than the last one. This is not as light as I want. And that's okay. Let's go to the next. Come to diary, select colors, more colors, paste that color there and make it more lighter. Once that is done, select back, come to select the last one, which is the bakery, more colors, paste this and select the lightest color there and you're good to go. So select back. So you see our color is following a stage, a shade from the deepest to the lightest for our donut chart. We're not yet done with this donut chart because our labels need to be clean too. So for our labels, I'm only going to select percent of total. We just want to see the percentage. And then for the detail labels too, for the values, scroll down, the values look too tiny. So let's increase it to 11. We're good to go. Increase it to 11. You can make it bold so that it's more pronounced and seen and you're good to go. So revenue by category, this one will be OTIF by category. We're going to do the same that we did for the donut chart here in bar, but we're not going to be doing it one by one. So for the bar chart, I'm just going to use FX, okay, for all. I'm going to use select FX and select gradient. What field should we base this on OTIF? So what's going to be our highest value? I'm going to paste in that color code I copied there, go back, and our lowest value will be select more colors, paste in that color code and select the lightest value you want to use. So let's say I want to use this as my lowest value and go back. Let's see how it looks once this is done. So this is where you select your highest, this is where you select your lowest value. We don't want a middle color, so click OK. So you can see how it looks like. I also do not want this legend to show, so I'm just going to turn off the legend here, turn it off. And then one more thing, come to your x-axis. I want to remove these values. I don't want it to show because I'm going to be putting in my data label. So scroll down to data labels and turn it on. So you can see my data labels, but expand it more so I can work on the values. So expand it, come to values, increase the value size to 10, just like you did with the other, or 11. I think the other one is same with this. This is let's see, 11. Okay, so we're going to do this 11 too, just like this, and make it bold. And then we're going to scroll down and display units should be, sorry, not our display unit. Let's scroll down to layouts. What am I doing? And then let's scroll up to position and set it as inside end. Let's set it as inside end. So you have this, but you can see that the lighter shade is not, the label for the lighter shade is not showing so clearly. So if you're not comfortable with it, you can just put everything outside end so you can see your labels more clearly. So if you look at this, you can see that there is a little slight difference between I do not chart and my bar chart, which is the first one. So come to your slices again, come to color, for select the beverages, select color, more colors, and paste in that darker shade you used initially. It gives it a clearer, a sharper difference between the different slices. For our line charts, we're not going to use labels since we have this by the side. Okay, but we're going to change the shade of the lines to the color that we are using right now. So come to line is solid and smooth. Interpolation type smooth. If you want it to be linear, that is jagged like this, you can use it, but I prefer to use smooth. Width is 3, which is fine. Then for color, select the same color that we've been using so far. Let's just use that same color. Okay. Or if it's too dark for you, you can use a lighter shade so it's not too pronounced. I can reduce my width to 2 and then put in markers. So this is where we have markers. You can select the type of markers you have. So for all, yeah, show for all categories. That's for the markers. You can select a marker for just basically any type of marker you want to use here. You can use this marker, you can use the other type of marker, and you're good to go. So this is it for our executive page. We have our revenue by month name, our OTIF by category, our revenue by category. Like I said, I want to make this dashboard very simple for you to follow along. So I'm not going to do exactly everything that I did in my own previous dashboard. So like I said, I want to make this dashboard very, very easy for you to follow along. So stick with me as we do more. So for revenue by month name, we have the title, which is already clearly stated for us. If you want to change the title, you come to title and change the revenue. Then by month name, come to subtitle, because that's where that by month name is. Delete by month, delete the name there and leave it as revenue by month. It's easier that way. Or if you want to put a write-up of what this particular chart is about, you can say something like it tracks how revenue has moved month by month to review tracks how revenue has moved month by month to review seasonal patterns and growth direction. This is a very fine explanation for your charts for those who are beginners and may not know how to do it. So for the title now, you can then come to the main title and correct its revenue by month. You can see that everything is really nicely done here. So once that is done, always remember to save your work to do the same for revenue by category. So expand your title. This is where you have your title. Sorry, put it back on. Revenue by category, and then use the subtitle. So if you want to do the same for these two charts, it's just to use the subtitle. So select subtitle here and say revenue. Instead of saying by category, you just type in what that revenue means and what the chart is trying to explain or say. So let's leave it at. So this is just an example. I would love you to do this on your own. Try and do this on your own and see if you can get it. So basically we're through with our first page, our first dashboard page. We have our fields here, we have our year, and we have our executive summary. So I'm going to insert a line chart to divide all of this together. To put a line chart here and drag it down here from here to here. Just sound like a way of making the dashboard look nicer. So drag it down, then come to line formats, come to shape style, not fill, close your fill. For line, we don't use fill, we use borders. The width is 1 already, so select a color that's maybe lighter. If you don't want it to be too dark, you can select a lighter color for this. Or if you want a darker color, like I used in mine, you can select a line that is a bit dark. Sorry, select a line that is a bit dark. So that is how you have your foods, you have your executive summary, you have your fields, your year. We didn't do any major setting, any major formatting for our slicer. So select the slicer, come to values, come to background. You can change your slicer background here if you wish, and select maybe a lighter shade. Do the same for year, but instead of doing the same for year exactly, you can just come here again, select a lighter shade, or you use your copy formatting to copy between the files. So since we've already done this, we can leave it at that. So we have our fields, we have our year slicer, and we have our title, we have our 3 charts in here. So the next thing we do is to bring in our, what do we call it, to bring in our icon and then the buttons. All right, now that we finished building our page, we need to bring in our icons up here and our buttons. So let me bring in our company logo first. So select insert, come to image. We'll be using this image as our holder. Put it up here. Come to format, style, image, browse, and pick our icon here from our folder. Put it here. Then we can insert something else like a text box that we'll be using again to put in our company name. So we can say something like A and B Enterprises, our company. Or can use the tutor as a company name. Drag it over here and need to bring it up. It seems that with each Microsoft Power BI update, there are little glitches because the text box is not behaving like it should be, unlike before. So let's highlight everything in here. We're going to change the color to a little gray, increase this font size, you know, company name, of course. I don't want it to be too pronounced. Make it, no, not italic, sorry. Still make this the color. Let's use the same color. I'm going to copy everything, Control A. Hold on. So we'll have our logo name, our company name here, highlight everything and centralize it in the middle. So this is our company name, the tutor. So you can put your own company, the choice you want, and let's make it look a little bit too so we'll have this as our company name. You can, like I said, you can choose a name of your choice and you won't have any problem with it. So that's a company name. There's something about this new Power BI. Okay, so that's our company name, the tutor. Good. So I can leave it like this. Just all right. Now, once we're done with this, let's bring in our. Remember, I want this to be aligned. I mean, I need everything to be looking well aligned. Looking well aligned. So I'm just going to move this up a little bit still. Okay, so it will be well aligned. Look at this line here. I just want everything to be placed still along that line. Then for our buttons, we're going to place it little down below here. So you can see that see, get this up a little, take this up too a little, and you're good to go. I don't even need it to be too big. Then for this, I'm just going to bring it down a little, not so much. Bring this one too down a little and bring our line here down a little. Good. So I just need everything to be well aligned. This executive summary too can come down a little bit more, not too close to the main title. So the next thing we need to do is to insert a button. So we're going to come to buttons and shape, insert a blank button here. This is our blank button, you can see by the side here. So drag it down here, a little bit down. I want it to be on the same line with this particular label. I want it to be on the same line with this particular label, so I'll drag it down here. This will serve as my executive summary. Once you've selected that, come to button style, still scroll down to text, open the text on, then type in executive summary. Now I want my executive summary to have a yellow background, so I'll come to fill, come to color, and this color is what I'll use. I'll use my color picker tool, Ctrl Shift C, and pick this color. Just want a light or a not too light, and copy it. Then come to more colors and paste in more colors here. So this is what we need, but it's too light, so I'm just going to reduce it a little. Not so light, but a little bit not too pronounced. If you don't want this, you can choose a bit another color that is somehow darker. Just expand, come to more colors, bring it down a little. Try to not be too sharp in the eyes. So that's our executive summary. We're not yet done. Come back to icons rather. We're going to put in our icon, select custom, expand here, select custom. Let's close this. After selecting custom, browse. We're going to select a white icon to go with that background. Select a white icon, is in the middle, so we're going to shift it to the side and then scroll down again and increase the icon size to probably 35. And this looks good to me. Scroll down again, come to color. Okay, we've already fixed our color, which is fine. We're going to turn on border because I want it to be a little bit rounded. Okay, I don't think it's well, I need to do that. So let me close that up. So we'll have our executive summary. Summary is tiny, so I'm going to increase it to 12 and expand this a little bit. Scroll down again, expand it. I don't think I like that yellow, so I'm going to make it a bit, maybe reduce my transparency to 5. Okay, I increase the transparency to 8. So we'll have our executive summary here. You can see it. We have our executive summary. We'll still put in other buttons like that, but I need it to be a bit rounded. So let's come to button style and increase our rounded corners to 10. Let's see how it looks like. So can you see it now? This is what I need to see right here. This is what I need to see. So that's my executive summary page. Select the button again. Scroll down to on hover. Let's see if there's anything that would, affect it in any way. So come down to on hover. There's nothing there. Everything is still okay and intact. The color, fill, icon, everything is there. So let's do something else. Once you are done with this, you need to bring in the other icons, the other buttons. So let's copy this, Control C, 1, 2, 3. Remember, I said we are going to have about 4 pages, or 3 pages rather, plus a glossary and a reset icon. So I'm just going to still put in here, Control C, Control V. So these other icons will not have exactly the same formatting as this one does. Okay, so like for instance, when you come back to default select default, like I've selected everything, come here to format or select on default, scroll down to filter to fill, and we're going to select another color for our fill. So select the same color and you are good to go. But anyway, you can see that it's still interacting. It's very interactive. So I'm going to select the same color of our shape, our button holder, here. So select Ctrl Shift C, just pick this same color of our container, pick it and then come here to shape, to fill, browse, and select more colors and paste in that color there. So once you paste in that color there, go back and then color. So you can't see anything again, to just be stagnant, but I need it to also be interactive. So how do I do that? I'll then go back to on hover and then select the other dark color that was used. So I'm going to select this color now. Can you see it now? So but this one will be different because that's the exact page that we are on. Now once you are done with that, there's something else I didn't do. For this other for these other buttons, I need to, let's select everything. I want to change the font style. So come to text again, come to Sajo UI and select the normal Sajo UI. I don't want it to be bold. Just select the normal Sajo UI, light. Why is it not working? Okay, sorry. Okay, just select the normal Sajo UI, then come to, I forgot that it was still on hover, so select, take it to default so it can apply to everywhere, can apply to the rest of the buttons. Select default, normal Sajo UI, good, this is what I want. Now remember, we're still going to be changing the title of this, all of this. So for this, I'm going to rename it operational risk. For this, I'm going to rename it financial performance. For this, I'm going to rename it glossary. And then I'll rename this the reset button. This will serve as my reset. So we'll have executive summary, operational risk, financial performance, glossary, and reset. So select these ones. So this is our button. You can see it all here. So select these buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come still to button style under default and centralize them. Sorry, not really centralize. Take it horizontal, and then our padding is what we're going to work on now. So take your padding here and set it to 30 or 40. Okay, let's increase it again to 50. I need it to shift. Then after increasing to 50 for the text, come to your icon padding by the side, take it to 20. Okay, it's 4. Let's see why it's not giving me anything. Let's see, take it to 30. I need it to move. Okay, it's not moving, so let's put it back at 4. Oh, a lot of changes have been made. So come back here again, take it to 60, and then put this side to 0. Good. You're good to go. So what I want to do is to make sure that everything is on a line here, on a straight line, a straight line. So still select your charts, your button, sorry, not your chart. Come to button style here, and okay, our render corner is on 10. Select it to hover, on hover, and our render corner is still on 10. Good. I just want to be sure that everything is standard and good. So for our operational risk, I'm going to change the icons. This is where we'll now work one by one. So instead of this, make sure it's on default, please. On default first, come to icon. We're going to pick the white one for on default. For operational risk, I'm going to be using this icon. Please, this will be provided in the folder that I'm going to share with you, so ensure you collect it. Now once you have done this, or operational risk icon, I made a mistake on the spelling. Let's remove one T, then scroll up again, come to on hover. We're going to be changing it to yellow. So on hover, I want my operational race to be yellow, like this. Okay. Then on default too, Sorry, on icon should also be yellow. So I'll cancel this and select the yellow icon. Remember, once we've done this for the first page, the other pages will just be, can you see what's happening here? This is what I want to achieve. Let's go for financial performance. We'll do the same. So while we are still on hover, our financial performance will be yellow. Select the yellow, then scroll down to icon, cancel that, select financial performance icon. I'm going to use this as an icon for financial performance. Then scroll up again, select it, take it back to default, and change the financial performance icon to the white icon. Scroll down to icon, cancel this again, select the white icon for financial performance. Go this one and open. So you have this. Then come to glossary. Glossary, cancel this icon. It's still on default, so we'll carry. If you're not sure, please always scroll up. Always scroll up. So this is my glossary, the white icon. Our text is already on white, so I don't need to change anything. Then come back again to on hover, scroll down to glossary again, cancel this and pick the yellow one, and you are good to go. So this is what we need. So for our reset button, we don't need to use custom for reset. We'll just come here and select reset. That's all we need. Okay, we just select reset, and then the icon type is reset. The line color should be yellow. Scroll down to, this is for on hover, right? Good. The font color should also be yellow. Oh, sorry, for glossary, our text is still white for on hover. So on hover, glossary, yellow text. Then come to reset. Your text should be, where are we? On hover. So reset should be yellow on hover. Scroll down again. Our icon should be yellow. So this is what we want to achieve. So you can see the other icon is still there for default. So come back to default. Scroll down to your icon, select custom, that is for reset, and select clear all slicers or reset. Okay, so let's try clear all slicers and see. It's like the two buttons almost do the same thing, you know. Can you see that? Can you see that? Now let's just use reset that we have used for the other one. So these are reset, these are glossary, financial performance, operational risk, and executive summary. How cool is that? How cool is that? Okay, so if you want to make your executive summary like this too, just like others, feel free to do that. So this is what we want to achieve here on this particular page. For this one, I think I'll put it, do I need to put it a little bit closer? No? Let's bring it up here. Then select everything from 1, 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Then come to format, come select align and distribute vertically. Distribute vertically. Select align again and align to the side. Align left so that everything will be on a good straight line. So you see how our buttons has been nicely set, very nicely set. So once we're done with the buttons, we need to bring in an image again. Just bring in an image that will serve as, you can use this for your own image because I want to put my personal image here and also my social media handles. So come in here, come to image, upload image and browse. Then you can select any nice image of your choice. So this is the image I selected. You can fill it in, just fill and maybe reduce transparency a bit. I don't want it to be too sharp. You can even change the image effect. You can make it blur if you want, just like we did with the others, but no, we're not doing any of that here. What we need to do is to come to shape, increase the rounded corners to 20. I want it to be round, actually round. So let's see what we'll have here. Um, keep increasing. Let's make it 50. Yeah. So I have something small like this. which is fine. Once you're done with this, if you are not still okay, you can put in your image. So this is for you to put in your image. Insert an icon too. This time around, I'm going to bring in another image and bring in a LinkedIn and a Twitter icon. That's X. So come to where you saved it. All you need to do is to download the LinkedIn or Twitter icon and they use it for this purpose. Looking for the icon. So I have an icon here. I'll select open and drag it to the side. So I'm going to be using this icon and I'm going to link it to my LinkedIn page. So do the same copy CV, or that is copy and paste, sorry. Then come here, select the second image, cancel the first upload. This time around, you're going to pick the Twitter icon. So we have our logos here by the side. I'm just going to make it smaller. So it's always good to link your account, especially when you are sharing a report and you have there's a link to your dynamic reports, not just a picture or a screenshot. So anybody who accesses this report can easily go to your profile and see other things that you've been working on too. So I'm just going to make sure this is in the middle. Once you're done with that, all you need to do is to come here, select the LinkedIn icon, come to action, turn it on, scroll down, select your action type. What you're going to select now is web URL, and then type in your LinkedIn icon here. So it could be HTTP. Just go to your LinkedIn profile, http www.linkedin.com dash select, go to your LinkedIn profile and copy the link, then paste it here. Do the same for your Twitter. Select this Twitter, turn on your action, select web URL, then come here and type in your Twitter URL. Though any other social media account you actually want to use, you can do that. I'm just trying to use these two alone, and this is okay for me. So we have all our icons, we have our KPIs, we have our buttons on a page. Now, I think it's time for us to create our next page. So I'll duplicate this page. Remember, I've not actually linked any of these to any particular page. Okay, so I'll just right click and duplicate, duplicate. So this will serve as our next page. We're just going to remove everything that we don't need here and use the page instead of us to start setting up everything from the beginning again. So for my page one, I'll rename it, double click on page one, double click and rename it summary. Then for my page two, double click and rename it operational risk. So when we finish building all our pages, I'm just going to link the buttons and then we'll just switch it to switch it with all the pages, okay, so that everything will be lined. But as it stands now, we cannot link this to another page unless we create that page, and we've not created other pages. But let's link the second one, which is operational risk. So come here to action, open it up, come here and select page navigation. Our destination now will be, oh, I'm still on the operational risk, please. Let me close this for now. Come to executive summary. Since I'm on operational risk, I'm going to link this to the first page. Turn on your action. Come here and select page navigation and then select the summary. Okay, so once you click it now, you have a click here to follow to take you back to summary page. Let's wait for it to go. Now we're back to summary page. Now let's set the button for the second one. So select the next button here, then come to action, turn it on, select page navigation, destination, operational risk. Once you've linked your second button, we're going to link the remaining three buttons after we have created the dashboard pages for them. So please watch out for the part 2 of this video, and once I upload it, you watch it and continue with the report. Thank you.